Hey everyone, welcome back to Garnock Reviews. Today we're checking out a 2023 Contender 26 bay boat that was on display at the Daytona Beach Boat Show earlier this year. This one measures in at 26 foot in length, it's got a beam at 8 foot 6, she carries 100 gallons of fuel, and she's certificated for 6 adults. And from a price perspective, this one was being offered for $179,900 including the trailer. As I make my way around, you can see this one's powered by a Mercury Verado. It's a 350 horsepower cold fusion white outboard. For cruising, you're going to be hitting speeds of around 30 mile an hour, but in the right conditions, you're probably going to get something in the region of 60 miles per hour. The engine's mounted on a jack plate, so this boat floats in a matter of inches. She's got integrated trim tabs as well as underwater lighting. And for this type of fishing, I like the fact that there's no handrails and guardrails on the outside of the boat. It's a totally unobstructed access if you want to go fishing. I also like that two-tone hull. Not having a just pure white hull, I always think that gives a classier feel to a boat. And it's the same colour that's on the roof of the T-top, and it just seems to set it off well as an accent. And if we take a closer look at that jack plate, you'll see just how much you can change the height of the outboard. That way you can go cruising into very shallow waters, outfish the competition, but you can also lower it, and that way you can make way under deeper channels and waterways. And as I make my way on board, I love how flat and smooth everything is. There's plenty of casting opportunities for fishing. We also have a mixture of bait wells, live wells and in-floor fish box storage. So if we take a closer look at some of these compartments we have on a transom, the first one I'm going to open up here is just dry storage that you have. And I like how secure all the hatches lock into place, as the boat is capable of high speeds. The last thing you want is anything bouncing open while the boat's underway. We then have a 40 gallon live well, and the smaller one behind it is a 12 gallon bait well. And as I open and close the lid to these, check how thick that glass is. This is an extremely well built boat where it doesn't feel like to cut corners in any way. And in this compartment you've got just in front of the outboard, there's a lot of different hoses and connections in here you can service and maintain on a regular basis. It's also got the bilge pump in here. And then to finish up, we've got more dry storage. This is going to be in the port quarter. And you'll also notice a pop-up cleat. If you've been following my channel, you'll see that I like a lot of the pop-up cleats on fishing boats, because that way you don't get your lines tagged in the cleats whenever they're not in use. And then I also like the fact that we've got 2 built-in rear jump seats back here. These seats are really comfortable. That cushion is really thick, soft and supportive. So you get the best of both worlds. You can lay these flat if you need the deck space for casting, but you can also use these if you've got family cruising with you as well. I like the solid leaning post that we have at the helm. There's plenty of rod holders and drinks holders mounted into this, but there's also great handholds, and there's space underneath it. You could easily fit a large cooler on here too. And at the helm we've got the full engine instrumentation, we've got the trim tab controls and the controls for the jack plate, but you can see that for the vast majority of the console it's been left blank, so that way you can specify your own electronics to suit your personal needs. Moving forward to the bow, I love all the cushions that's up here. It certainly makes it easier to become a family cruiser. But again, you can remove these cushions if you need more deck space for casting. Those backrests are removable. There's also storage underneath those seats. You get easy access into the console. This is great for all the wiring, and if you do want to add more electronics, it's easy enough to do so. And I was impressed with the cable management of this one. I work in IT as my regular job, and I've seen far worse in servers than there is on this boat. And then the seat that we have in front of the console, the base of this seat is actually a 70 quart cooler. And as well as having storage underneath the seats that you see at the side, we've also got storage in the deck too. And notice how solid the door is when you open and close it. It doesn't feel like there's any movement in it. It just gives you that feeling of being in a very strong boat without worrying about any flexing taking place. And then for larger storage, on the bow we've actually got a 125 gallon dry storage. Personally, this is something you might want to put like a boat cover in. This would be a good spot if you want to put life jackets in here. You might even put some ropes and fenders. It's massive, and again it locks securely in place. And then we've got one more compartment in front of this, right on the bow. And a lot depends on what your plans are for fishing and cruising, but you can fit an anchor and windlass on this, but you can also fit a trolling motor. But I like the fact you do have that versatility and options available. And I also like the fact it's got this non-slip deck material. As you can probably see, the deck was wet when I was on board, and not once did I feel like my feet were going to slide. And as I pan the camera around, you'll see in the top of that T-top, not only do we have rod holders, but it's also got outriggers built into it as well. And for those not familiar, that's the NASCAR Daytona track that you see in the background. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and comment. If you can leave a comment down below. If you haven't done so already, if you can hit that like and subscribe button, it really does make a difference. And as always, I look forward to catching you on the next one. Thanks everyone.